Confidence is very important when it comes to pursuing your goals, pursuing your passion, your purpose, your vision. If you're not confident in your ability to achieve what you want to achieve, then you're going to be operating at maybe 50, 40, 30% of your potential. Because confidence in and on itself will boost your mindset so much that it will give you the competitive edge you need. Now, when it comes to developing confidence, there are several things you can do. And first, it's the shift in paradigm or in perspective, where you embrace failure. One of the main reasons why people start becoming discouraged is because they try something and then they fail. And as we said before, they start thinking that they're a failure, but failure is an event, not a person, right? So you need to embrace and fall in love with failure. Don't look at it as failure, look at it as a lesson. You're gonna learn, when you fail, you're gonna learn something out of it. At least you're gonna be able to assess why you lost and what you can do next time to get better. Now, a big question we want to tackle is the question of confidence when it comes to chasing your goals. What happens with a lot of people is that they have some goals, but they don't have enough confidence. They don't believe in their ability to achieve whatever they want to achieve. What do you think about that, and what do you think people can do in such situations?
The idea of confidence is such a massive conversation. We could write a whole book on it, do an entire course on it. One thing I'll say right off the bat that's very pragmatic is to surround yourself with at least one, but ideally more people who will support your vision, will give you a sounding board to bounce ideas off of, who will help be critical but give feedback in a way that's really effective. Because feedback and support from people around you is really important, especially if you're starting out in something really new. One of the first things that happens when people start something new is those who don't believe in your goals, don't understand your vision per se, can be really hurtful, could be mean, and could criticize and judge the work that you're doing. And it's at this point that instead of worrying about them, arguing about them, or giving them any energy, positive or negative, you focus on those who are there to support you. So I think that's definitely number one, as funny as it is that that's like an external thing, right? Having somebody else. A lot of people will say, don't tell people your dreams and goals because you're just allowing them to crush them. And I think that's completely wrong, because you want to tell the right people your dreams and goals, and they're going to be able to help build those up. And you don't have to succeed solo, because like Warren Buffett said, it's way more fun doing things with other people, right? Sharing in the experience of that journey. So confidence, for starters, definitely comes with finding the people who are right for helping you build your confidence. The other thing is realizing that if you are truly pushing yourself to be uncomfortable, you're never going to get to this point where you feel fully confident, right? You're always going to have a little bit of fear and nerves around what you're pursuing, but that by continuing to get more and more used to feeling uncomfortable, you can continue to succeed in that pursuit while you feel a little less comfortable, but growing your confidence over time.
I think that's on point, having the right people in your circle, because it really just takes one person who means a lot to us to say a couple words that would discourage us so much, that would hurt our sense of confidence. And being surrounded with the right people would obviously prevent that from happening. Even if it happens, you'll have somebody by your side to say, hey, don't listen to them, remember who you are, and keep pushing. And the idea of discomfort, obviously, is that if people don't put themselves in situations where they're feeling uncomfortable, and they see that they are able to pivot through those situations and still make it the other side stronger, those are the moments where we grow. Those are the moments where our sense of confidence is being developed. And if we keep avoiding those uncomfortable situations, our confidence will be hindered by default. Now, third thing I want to add is changing perspective on failure. I think one of the things that deprive people of the sense of confidence most is failing. Especially when those, the loved ones that we talked about don't support your dreams and then you fail, and everybody's like, I told you so. And that feels so bad. Like, this really deprives you of your confidence. You're like, are they right? Like, am I actually able to do it? And that's where you need to take a step back and remember the idea. Failure is not a person. It is an event. It is a lesson, right? Every single time we fail, we learn something new. If we just ask the question, why did I fail? What happened? And what can I do differently to prevent it? What's your foretake on failure, and how do you look at it so it doesn't drain you from your confidence in any situation? Once you embrace and fall in love with failure, failing won't hinder your confidence anymore. Opposite, maybe. You'll be happy and you'll be more confident because you know that even though you failed this time, that only puts you a step closer towards what you're trying to achieve. Number two, you gotta get comfortable being uncomfortable. Get comfortable with discomfort. Because, you know, it's easy to be confident when you're in your comfort zone and doing the stuff that you're used to doing, because that's how we work. When we're doing something we're familiar with, it's easier to be confident about it. But when we're doing something that we're not used to, and discomfort starts, you start feeling discomfort building up inside of you, that's what actually hinders confidence. If you get somebody who's a top shot salesperson and you put them in a marketing department, their confidence in sales was at a 90. They go into marketing and they don't know anything. They're getting very confused, yada yada. And they start getting uncomfortable because they're just used to doing sales all the time. Their level of confidence will drop down to 40 or 50 maybe. However, if they walk in with that enthusiasm that it doesn't matter if it feels uncomfortable, because here's the most important part, and here's the idea that you want to keep in mind if you want to start embracing discomfort and using it to your advantage, is that growth only happens, or mostly happens, it's most significant when you're feeling discomfort. When you get out of your comfort zone, that's when actual self-growth happens. So the reason why you need So the reason why you want to embrace discomfort is because this is where growth happens. So keep that idea in mind.
Well, this is what's so fun about building confidence, is the idea of building creative confidence can happen through the design process by being a design thinker. The best design firms in the world use a concept called design thinking. And how that works is you are going to build empathy first, and then you're going to come up with some kind of a prototype or an attempt. And when it comes to pursuing our own passions, that's what we're talking about when we go try something. But the most important thing is that when people build creative confidence, it's much like an athlete building all the sub-skills that exist in pursuit of a bigger goal. And I'll use American football as an example because that's what I know the best. We use what's called drills, and most sports use that term, drills. When you are trying to build this confidence, it happens through doing all different types of drills. You want to become a hip-hop artist, there's so much that goes into that, but when it comes down to trying to build confidence, you just do different types of engaging, practicing drills. And over time, by doing more of those drills and failing in each of those drills, you're going to get better and better in all the different things that exist. Where we come back to the design thinking process is realizing that it always ends in a feedback loop, right? Keep going, or how do I improve and then start again? And at what point do I re-enter this design process? So if you're trying to work on something like writing, for example, you can do different drills. Start a 60-second timer and try and write a short story in 60 seconds. Boom, stop it. Take a 60-second break. Start a 60-second timer. Write again. That's a fun drill just geared towards practicing the art of writing. After you're done, think of something else that you could practice, look up a different drill. And a lot of times when it comes to pursuing our passions, people don't look at it like this skill development, creative confidence building that it truly can be. And it can be so much fun to just determine what different drills do you want to do to get better in this pursuit? And in turn, your confidence will come.
The third thing is knowing that whoever you are, whatever you do, whatever your goals are, whatever your vision is, you need to know who you are as a person. You need to know what you stand for, what your values are, what your morals are, what you believe in. Once you have those set straight, keep in mind that every single person on this planet matters, adds value to this world, one way or another, and they can make an impact. And that includes you, that includes me, that includes everybody. And through that, you can draw in a lot of confidence because you know that you have the ability within to create something amazing. To anything you do in your life, you have drills you need to go through to get better. That's exactly where we hit that soft spot, if you want. Because it is all a question of drills, whether you want to do football, whether you want to become a writer, whether you want to do videos, filmmaking. It's a matter of drills, repetition, repetition. You're going to suck at first, but on your 100th time, can you be a lot better? 1,000 times in, going to be so much better. 10,000 times, you're going to be one of the top people in the world, maybe. So I think that's a big question. First, as you were saying, put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Look at failure differently. Anything you would add?
I think if I added one thing, it would be the term vulnerability, right? So Brene Brown is infamous for her work. She even has a Netflix special, which is, pretty badass when it comes to authors and academics. Being able to go create a Netflix special, which is entertaining, but still educational, right? And all of her work exists around the concept of vulnerability. And why is that? Because if you're willing to put yourself out there and feel awkward, feel silly, feel like a bit of the clown, if you will. That's why I love reminding people that it's okay to be the clown because you have to be that to grow, right? But all of a sudden, the people who aren't willing to be vulnerable, who aren't willing to be the clown a little bit, you'll pass them so quickly in terms of that skill development, because by being vulnerable is where you're going to have those exponential gains. And we talked about skill development, we talked about putting in the hours. You think of something like Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours. That's infamous in the skill development world of how to be the best expert you can be. However, it's also infamous for holding a lot of people back because they think, oh, I'm already in my mid-50s. How could I start learning how to draw? And they just chuckle it off as something that's only possible to achieve if you started way younger. But they're thinking of 10,000 hours. In a very, very, very short period of time, a few hours, you can make exponential gains if you're willing to put yourself out there and be vulnerable.
And number 4, if you're ever in a situation where you feel a lack of confidence and you want to step up the game a bit, fake it till you make it. If you walk into a room and you're not feeling confident and then you put your head down and hunch your shoulders and hunch your back, automatically your physiology is going to work against you and you're going to lose even more confidence. But if somebody walks in the room with their head looking up straight, shoulders broad, back straight, even if deep down they're not really feeling confident, they have a big smile on their face, even if deep down they're not really feeling confident, they're feeling uncomfortable in the situation, just looking at them, you perceive them as being somebody who's very confident. And when you do that, when you use your physiology to your advantage, it can actually influence your psychology. And that's where the term fake it till you make it kind of steps in. So that's why it's very important to develop confidence in oneself when it comes to chasing goals, visions, and dreams. Because if you're not confident in your own ability to achieve whatever you're set out to achieve, then you're operating at a disadvantage. Believe in yourself and have the confidence you need to know that you can make an impact if you chose to.